I love waffles. Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. This week is all about waffles because today, the 25th of March, is Waffle Day here in Sweden. I love how many crazy food holidays this country has. Today we are going to be eating two different kinds of waffles. We have number one, my Nana's waffles. Our second recipe is the waffle recipe I was part of developing for Sweden's own one and only 3 Michelin star restaurant where I used to work and be the pastry chef. Today we have my Nana versus 3-star. Well, not really versus because I love them both. My Nana's recipes and a 3-star recipe. So let's just get started. The first waffles we're going to make are my Nana's waffles. So I have in here my water and milk straight into the bowl. It's best if it's room temperature. In goes my fresh yeast. Give it a stir to make sure it's evenly distributed. We have all of our dries in one bowl, so salt, sugar, and flour. Just throw it all in there. You want to whisk together, making sure you don't have any lumps or anything. And then in with all of our melted butter. Stir, stir, stir. Boom, done. The thing about this waffle batter though is because it has yeast, it needs to sit overnight. I guess you could do it in a couple hours or leave it out at room temperature and wait for the yeast to get active, but we always make it the night before, put all the yeast in, and now you're gonna cover this, put it in the fridge, and let it sit overnight. Just do it that way, it makes your life easy. Now on to our 3-star waffles. I have changed this recipe a little bit from the one I was using at the restaurant. One of the most important parts of this recipe is that it has tapioca flour in it. And I know that that's like annoying to have this like one particular ingredient that I feel like it's not super common in a lot of kitchens. It is really the key to making like these waffles like extra crispy and extra nice. Could you substitute it with cornstarch, potato starch, rice flour? I mean, I think so, but those are all different types of starches and they will get you a different result. Like, play around at your own risk. But one of the other things that I think makes this recipe really fun is that it has sparkling water in it. So in here is our milk and cream, and you want your sparkling water to be like as fresh and sparkling as possible. Into your bowl, you're gonna pop all of your liquids, and then you're just gonna start adding your dries by sifting them in. This just helps prevent lumps. I did not sift on the other waffles. My grandmother never really sifted the flour, right? So in her waffles, I don't think to do that. We sifted the flour religiously at the restaurant, so I think to do that. And last but not least, your melted butter, to stream it in. I have added in just a little bit of vanilla sugar. You could also add in vanilla extract. This batter is looking gorgeous, and it needs 2 hours at least in the fridge just to kind of like let everything hydrate, come together, settle in, be friends. It can sit overnight, but it's best when it's made fresh. But it also needs to sit for like at least 2 hours. Kind of annoying if this is what you want first thing in the morning for breakfast. Do think it's worth the wait though. So in this bowl are my grandmother's waffles. I take my plate lid off and my plastic wrap, and you can see like how floofy it gets. Into this bowl, you're gonna crack 2 eggs, and then you want like a 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, just a tiny, tiny little bit, and just mix it all together. I literally just bought this machine. It has this beautiful pattern. It's classically Swedish. They're thin, they're heart-shaped. This is a classic Swedish waffle shape. This is what we need. This is what I bought. I have a tiny spatula I got from my IKEA play kit. And we're just gonna throw some butter on here because we love butter. You can tell I've already used this because I already made a mess. It's not waffles unless you've made a mess. I think that was too much. Yeah, it was too much. Oh well, it happens. Remember that waffles are like pancakes and like so many other things in the kitchen and in life. Your first time is going to be like not super great. You just need to keep doing it again and again and practicing, and like by the time you get to the end of the batter, you will be able to make a perfect waffle. Oh yes, oh my God. I have my little offset. You could also use a fork or whatever. Oh my goodness. You can hear that like crispiness. Great. Love those. Let's try our 3-star ones. So again, we're gonna put on a little bit of butter here and then ladle on some batter. Swoop. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Look how beautiful this is. Now, we used to cool them on a rack and that helped keep them like crispier, but I don't have a rack that I like, so I'm just gonna have to eat it right away. Oh, woe is me. So let's talk about like the differences between these two. So my grandmother's are much like softer. They're not as crispy. I mean, this edge is crispy, but like this here is not as crispy. They definitely have a yeastier flavor and yeah, are overall softer. This to me is my childhood and therefore has like my whole heart. These 3-star ones, they are crispier. That's like the whole point, is that they're like really crispy, but still really soft on the inside. So here's how I feel about it. This is my childhood. This is probably the one that I would make at home. 3-star ones, objectively, they're better. They're a little bit more of a pain in the butt because you have to make them and then you have to wait for a couple hours. You really cannot not have the tapioca flour. It's kind of what makes them. Make them, decide what you will, think what you will, but that's just my kind of opinion. Thoughts, feelings, reflections on both of them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this week's video. If you have any thoughts, feelings, opinions, please comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I hope you have a wonderful waffle day. Hej då!